Hey everyone, we're going to do a quick video today. We're just going to take a look at my dad's July 4th invite that he generated. Let me just open it up here. No, that's not it. Hold on. Okay, here we go. I'll tell you straight up. So I'm charging him about $215 an hour for this analysis, and I think that's a fair price. I think that's a good price to start with, and we'll dig into the details. So off the bat, I'm not sure about this typography. I don't know. Let's see. I think the title is strong. It's a date, right? July 4th and time, 2 p.m. Pretty strong. It does not tell us where, and I think that's fine. I think people could look at the visual context here and figure it out. I think they'd get it. Now the cursive here is problematic because we know for a fact Gen Z and Gen Alpha can't read this. This might as well be in Cyrillic. But I'll translate. It says, "Join us on our nation's 250th." We are missing an apostrophe, but that might be a stylistic choice, actually. That might be a stylistic choice because who's to say how many nations and where and when? It never explicitly says America, but that could be fine. Again, context clues. No fishing from bridge right there. There's a pelican. You can look at this and say, yeah, that's America. We know. Where in America, we don't know. That's fine. I guess my analysis would say, maybe changes from cursive into impact. I think that would be a much stronger presentation. Gen Z and Gen Alpha can easily consume impact. It would not negatively affect conversion rates for sure. We need to talk about the pelican front and center here. Look, it's on a very nicely lit water feature. I get it. The pelican is, this is a tiki bar in New Hampshire, right? We can ascertain that. Is the pelican the best icon? I don't know. Maybe we could have done like a Mickey Mouse. Maybe we could have done a minion. A minion might have been stronger, I think, visually. I think a minion would be more arresting visually. I think that might be a little bit more boomer coded. That might have been the play. But, the picture is what it is. We're just going to have to deal with it. Now, there's where you'd expect the call to action to be. There isn't. It actually says Bartesian drinks will be available this year. Now, this raises some questions. Now, does this imply that maybe Bartesian drinks were not available last year? Was there a problem with the Bartesian drinks? What are we talking about? How important are the Bartesian drinks to, the event? This amount of real estate dedicated to Bartesian drinks implies that, this is a big deal. People are going to be coming from possibly hundreds of miles to come get their Bartesian drinks. And from my research, Bartesian drinks, I guess, are like a Keurig, but for cocktails. Possibly a Juicero type device. I'm not really sure. Let's talk about the people in this picture. Maybe this is where it's the strongest, I think. It's very evocative. You got this guy right here. He's enjoying himself. I want what that guy's having. Ditto with this guy. I assume that was a cigar. I'm going to be honest. It kind of looks like a glass pipe. And I'm not going to get into the connotations of that. It also looks like his fingers have become some kind of comb, like a hair comb. Not really sure what we're going for here. I don't know. I would change that. I would change it from a comb, I don't know, maybe to like an ice pick or something. Maybe that might be a little bit more evocative, because if this guy's really concerned about the Bartesian, he might have an ice pick for a hand to get all the ice for the cocktails. Let's talk about this guy right here. I like this guy. I'm not really sure what's going on with his hair, but he's clearly he's loving the party. Not sure what's happening to his arm. His arm looks like it's kind of melting into that. I think it's a chair. But I look at that guy and I say, yeah, that guy's here for the Bartesian drinks. Now these guys are interesting. If we look right here, we can see that, his arm is kind of melting into this gentleman's arm. And we're not sure if he kind of looks like he has like a gold hand. Maybe it's like a fusion, like body horror, like David Cronenberg style. And I think that's pretty strong. That's very evocative. I like that. Now this guy has a gut. He's got it going on. He's got a stogie. He's relaxing. He's kind of got a gut. He's got a very fancy watch. I like it. Now this guy's having a slight problem. Yeah. Looks like the rope is kind of morphing into this guy's chin. Not really sure, what that evokes, but he seems all right. Now there's one guy hiding in the back here I want to talk about. Right there. Is this guy like a Pikachu type character? Is he perhaps maybe like a Joe Camel type? We can't really tell. It's a little bit pixelated. And he looks to be wearing some kind of white tuxedo. But he looks good. He looks sharp. I like that. I think we keep that. Yeah. Overall, I'd give this 9 out of 10. Pretty strong. Could be a little stronger. And let's take a look at my tweaks to the invitation. Okay, so here, I spent about 1.2 million tokens on this to really bring out the core call to action, which is come and hang out at this place. Come and hang out at this place in New Hampshire. I took a few artistic liberties, First off, you'll notice no text. We don't need any. Because if you're looking at this, you know exactly where you're going. All right. I think the biggest call to action is this moon face. I think the moon face really tells you, if you look deep enough into its eyes, you know where to go. You don't need text. You don't need a call to action. You're going to get in your car and drive on that empty road and look straight into the moon's eyes. And that'll get you home. And this tiki bar, I think the lighting has changed a little bit. It's a little festive. We've got some colorful lights here. Some people might say these guys look a little bit sinister, maybe like they're planning something. But you'll see that I kept Rope Mouth because I think he really anchors the whole scene. I think that's right. And we've cut the body count down. We've got less people. We don't have Joe Camel anymore. I kind of got rid of him. I was sick of it. And the tiki bar looks a little bit more occulty, which I kind of like. There's also a door over here that kind of, what's happening in there? What happens behind closed doors at this tiki bar? We don't know, but you could find out if you come hang out with us. Some of the patrons have been put in the water feature, which I really like. I think it looks good. They're kind of looking up. All their eyes are open, and they're saying, why did we end up here in the water feature under the dark, grimacing pelican? We don't know. Who's to say? But I look at this and I say, this is a strong July 4th celebration. I say, this is where you want to be on July 4th. I particularly like this floating tiki head. I like him. I think he replaces Joe Camel / Pikachu. I think he looks a lot better. He's got more of a presence, more of a gravity that you'd want. Yeah. So let's see. This whole project took me about 3 hours at $2.25 an hour. I think that is my week of work. Thanks, everyone. I just thought I'd take you on this journey to show you how I am doing my freelance consulting. Let me know if you need any help with your July 4th invitation. I can get it squared away for you.